Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, everybody.
All right, we are live.
We're live and living color. We are live.
As you join, would you please share and invite others to be on the live on tonight? We have a good teaching and we're excited about what God is doing right now. I see you. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Share, let them know that we're live.
I'm sharing.
All righty.
Come on, y'all. Let's start sharing.
All right, this is Unified Love Couples Ministry. Thank you so much for joining us on tonight. You know someone that will benefit from teaching on communication tonight. You know someone that has a problem with anger in their relationship. Would you please share this video? Let them know that we are live because we want to talk about healing communication on tonight and breaking the cycle of anger. And we realize that a lot of times, good evening, Sister Ganine, God bless you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Yes, drop your name in the chat. Say good evening, give us a shout out, and we'll make sure that we acknowledge you for being on here tonight. Yes, communication and healing and anger. So we want to cover these topics on the night. And you may not be in a relationship right now, but you know that you have anger issues and you want to get them resolved before you enter into a relationship. Yes, this topic is for you. And if you need to be healed because of verbal abuse in relationship, this topic is for you. So if you know anyone that will benefit from this teaching on tonight, please tag them into the broadcast and share this with them. Good evening, Arlan and George. Thank you so much for joining on tonight. Yes, we're talking about healing communication and breaking the cycle of anger. Yes, yes. So we want to make sure that we cover the different ways to communicate, get to the root of why anger does exist. Good evening, Charity. God bless you. Thank you so much for joining tonight. Yes, we want to talk about our words because we know that words hurt. We want to deal with how we can heal even after, we've gone through the trauma of relationships where we have been scarred and we have been abused verbally. We want to talk about healing communication on tonight. And let's break the cycle of anger. Yes, so if you want to grab your significant other, go ahead and do that. You may not even be in a relationship right now, but you want to deal with anger now. Yes, you are on the right live broadcast. Good evening, Evangelist Patricia. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Yes, yes, we're talking about healing communication and breaking the cycle of anger. So when we talk about words, we're going to start with words. Proverbs 18:21. Charisma, good evening. Thank you so much for joining. God bless you. We're talking about healing communication and breaking the cycle of anger. So again, if there's anyone that you know that will benefit from this broadcast that may have been verbally abused in relationship or may have, or that, have anger issues and they need to deal with them. Come on, this is healing communication tonight.
Yeah.
And we want to deep dive into it and talk about it. Proverbs 18:21 says that the tongue can bring death or life. Those who love to talk will reap the consequences. So we know words are not just words. Words can either build us or wound us.
Yeah.
They can strengthen or destroy us. They can heal or they can traumatize us. And many couples remember the painful statements even years later because verbal abuse does leave emotional scars. So we want to talk about signs of unhealthy communication. We're going to give some healthy communication principles. We're going to talk about the root of anger and get to the bottom of it so it doesn't damage our relationship. It doesn't damage, we've made a commitment to whoever we're in a relationship with, and we want to love and honor and respect them. And sometimes words can be disrespectful.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that we're governing ourselves and putting ourselves in a position that we want our relationship to work. So we are the Reeses. This is Real Talk with the Reeses on tonight. And we're excited. Go ahead,
And
babe.
one thing about having conversations, and I heard you mention about verbal abuse.
Mhm.
It is so important that that me and my wife always talk about respecting one another, talking to one another with respect, not verbally attacking one another, not verbally being, abusive towards one another. Because there is something called verbally abusive towards another person. We're not verbally attacking one another. We're not yelling. We're not mocking. We're not name calling. And you'll be surprised as couples, Christians, when we get heated, we start name calling, we start cussing, we start doing stuff that we ain't custom of doing. And we got to think about those things and then we're over talking people. We're over talking our husbands, we're over talking our wives, and we're not giving them a chance to answer back because we're so mad, we're so angry.
Yeah.
And sometimes, we're not seeing the things that we are doing to harm the other person. And then we say some hurtful things towards one another. So we got to think about those things that we are doing. We got to think about those things that we are saying to one another. And those things can build hurt, pain, and it can destroy a marriage by what you say. So we're going to talk about all this tonight. We're going to talk about, and we're going to get this thing out in the open, and we're going to help some couples tonight. We're going to help some couples that are getting ready to get married or trying to get married, and you're dealing with these issues. You're dealing with these problems where y'all are verbally attacking each other. One person is being verbally attacked, and you're saying, "I'm finna marry this person."
And my husband named them. So the signs of unhealthy communication, constant criticism. That's unhealthy communication. You mentioned the yelling, the mocking, the name calling, the silent treatment. Can go days and weeks without speaking. That's unhealthy communication. Manipulation when that's involved, of talking over one another. You mentioned that as well. Bringing up past mistakes with every disagreement. That is unhealthy communication. Ephesians 4:29 begin to say, don't use foul or abusive language. Let everything you say be good and helpful so that your words will be an encouragement to those that are around you.
And that is so important because you have to, that's about encouraging one another. We're not talking down to one another. We're not using abusive language and hateful words to one another. We're not putting each other down. Oh, you ain't no good, and you ain't this, and you ain't that. And how would how does that feel when someone does that to you? And if you're used to doing that, that needs to stop. If that's something you're doing now, stop doing that, especially to your husband or to your wife.
So healthy communication is not just talking. It's learning how to speak in a way that your partner, your spouse, the one that you're in relationship with can receive and listen in a way that makes your partner feel safe. So when you communicate, and the scriptures say, be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. So we're listening before we react. We're listening to hear what it is that they're saying and not so quickly to jump to conclusions, because many couples do not have communication issues because you don't talk. But in order to have a healthy communication, you have to talk. And get it out in the open, talk. A lot of times we don't talk because we've been wounded, or we don't have healthy communication because we're so defensive, or we get angry. Yes. So healthy communication requires that we listen without interrupting.
You know, we're already mad and we're already defensive and we're already wounded. We're not going to talk, and we have to nip that in the bud. First, we have to say, you know what? I gotta apologize to you because I wounded you. I put you on your defense instead of talking to you. I was talking down to you. You got to start admitting what you did wrong.
Yes. Good evening, Sister Ramona. We see you.
You got to start. You got to start admitting what you did wrong. You got to start looking at if it's you doing it to your husband or to your wife. You got to start admitting even if you're doing it and you you done propose and you're doing it already in the middle of y'all finna get married or something like that. This is things you need to hesitate and really get it straightened out now.
Yes.
Instead of waiting till you saying, oh, we'll fix it after we say I do. No, fix it now.
Yes.
Get it right now. And if that's something you're doing now while you're married, the best thing to do is to really talk to one another and then get it out and open. Look, I was wrong for what I did. I shouldn't have came at you like that. And if the other person tells you, hey, you put me on my defense. You made me feel bad. I'm wounded. I feel like I'm walking on eggshells. I feel like I can't talk to you. And then every time you talk, you're putting me down. You're saying something to me. You don't make me feel comfortable coming to you.
Yes.
I don't feel comfortable telling you something because I know it's not going to set well with you. And you're gonna come at me. You know what I'm saying? So if a person feel like that, how they gonna feel comfortable coming to you?
Yes.
And talking to you? If you always putting them down, if you always say, I tell you wasn't no good, you know what I'm saying? If you coming at them the wrong way, how are they gonna feel comfortable? And then why you never said nothing? Because how can I say something to you if you coming at me with abusive language?
Unhealthy communication.
Unhealthy communication.
Good evening, Sister Ponton. God bless you. Yes, so that's unhealthy. When we talk about healthy communication is listening without interrupting. It's speaking without attacking. Explaining feelings without blaming. Asking questions instead of assuming. And choosing timing wisely. So if we look at healing, because we're talking about healing communication tonight, a healing phrase is, help me understand what you meant. So instead of me, my husband say something to me, instead of me being on the attack or being on the defense, and if I don't understand it, instead of me jumping to conclusions and having my own assumptions, I'm saying, okay, babe, help me understand what you meant. That's a healing statement, because this one sentence, this one statement can prevent arguments because it slows down assumptions. I'm not assuming. Look, I want to make sure I heard what you said. And sometimes it may take me repeating what they say to make sure that I have a clear understanding of what is spoken, instead of me so quickly becoming offended or so quickly want to jump into attack. No, help me understand what you meant. And you see how that changed the whole trajectory of the atmosphere that we're in, because now instead of going back and forth, fussing and arguing, I need you, just break it down to me. Let me know, what is it that you see? What is it that I did? What is it that I said? Help me understand so I don't jump to conclusions.
Or, then you can go into, this is how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Let me explain to you what's going on and how I feel, and how I feel like you're not listening to me. How I feel like you're not hearing what I'm saying, because I really want you to understand why I feel the way I do.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to make it blunt and make it plain of how you feel. Well, I feel this way because every time I talk to you, you're saying these things to me, and it does not feel good. It don't make me feel like a man. I'm just saying, I'm just giving you an experience.
Mm-hmm.
It don't make me feel good when I come home. It makes me feel uneasy. It make me not want to come home. It make me feel like I want to stay out there and don't want to come to the house, because every time I walk in the door, where you been? What took you so long? And why? And how was? And did you ask for the raise? You know what I'm saying? Did you talk to your boss about making more money? Did you get the promotion? And I knew you ain't gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. So those things are hurtful things, and you already feel bad. Well, we got bills, and we got this, and we got that. Is that going to make that person feel better and urge them to want to do more?
Mm-hmm. So, and honestly, it's not. It's causing a toxic cycle.
That's it.
The same thing over and over keep happening with different details, but it keep happening over and over, and then it ends the same way, because one person might yell, the other person shut down, one feel ignored, the other one feel attacked, and then everyone just walk away hurt, and nothing is resolved. So this is unhealthy patterns, and they become repeated patterns if they are not confronted. It break the cycle. So how do you break the cycle? We have to talk about what triggers the argument. So this is conversations that you have with the person that you're in a relationship with. What triggers the argument? What tone are we taking with each other before it gets escalated or to a place of no return, where we're both mad and we're both in attack mode? What words are we using that's causing the other one to have an emotional shutdown? What unresolved issues keep resurfacing? Or what does each person do when they feel hurt? So these are questions that you come to the table with together to talk about, because resolution has to be made, or you'll continue in the same toxic cycle, argument, disagreement. But we want to break that toxic cycle. And in order to sit down, you both have to want to communicate. It's no time for, I don't feel like talking right now. It might be a time that you need a 20-minute cool off, walk away, but come back to the table. Come back, because what's going to happen? We're going to sweep it under the carpet, act like everything is all right, or try to ignore the issue, and it's going to resurface. Why? Because whatever doesn't get resolved resurfaces.
We'll come back saying, I don't want to talk about it. No, you got to talk about it. No, you can't say, well, I'm going to go to bed because I don't want to talk about this no more. No, you can't lay down and let that sit.
Yes.
Because then tomorrow you're not going to talk about it. And then days, months going to go by. Then something else going to come up. And then that problem that you have from 2 months ago going to come up with the problem that you got now. So now you got 2 problems. Now you got 3 problems. It could be, it's just going to add on. It's not going to, it's like cancer. It's not going to get resolved.
Yeah.
So look, instead of that, I'd rather get it resolved. We're going to straighten this now. And when we straighten it, I don't want to argue with you. I want to have a discussion with you.
Yes.
Let's discuss it. We don't have to yell and scream at each other. Okay, we don't try yelling and screaming. We found out that ain't get us nowhere. You yelling, I'm yelling, nobody hearing nothing. Okay, now let's sit down and talk. Okay, let's get down to the nitty-gritty of what the problem is and what we are facing and what we are dealing with. Okay, what is it that you don't like? Okay, we know what you don't like. Now let me tell you what I don't like. Now, how are we gonna fix this? Let's work on that accomplishment of how we gonna fix this. How we gonna rebuild? How we gonna get back to trusting and not arguing and not fussing and not yelling and not slamming doors and not and not saying, I'm done with that. Look, I ain't gonna talk, I ain't gonna say nothing else.
Mhm.
And now we're not talking, we done shut down, we're not talking anymore. No, we have to talk. No, we need to, and I mean, in couples and in relationship, you need to make that a rule. We're not gonna let it go.
Yes, we see, Patricia, don't go to bed angry.
Yes.
Because a lot of times it happens if it's not dealt with. And we cannot keep handling pain the same way and expect healing.
Yeah.
Something has to change.
Yeah.
We can't keep arguing like this. We can't keep fussing like
And you
this.
can't keep covering it,
Mm-hmm.
thinking, or it just go away. It's
Right.
not gonna go
Right.
away.
Right.
It's not gonna go away.
Mhm.
Sooner or later, it's gonna come out. Remember, and it could be not, it could be 5 years from now. It's gonna come back up.
Back. Yes. 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 And when we're talking about healing communication, it's trust is also involved.
Yeah.
Trust, because now that we've not handled conversations correctly, and we know, oh, right before, even before we say, oh, this gonna end in a fight, oh, this gonna end in an argument, this, and we don't have trust in each other that we can even communicate right
Talk.
or talk, or you
You
know,
always end up yelling and screaming.
right. But
So-
we have to rebuild the
Yeah.
trust.
And we have to say, you know what? We don't try yelling and screaming.
Mhm.
It's, I mean, even get down and yelling and screaming, people throwing stuff. What is that gonna accomplish?
Yes.
Okay, after you done broke up stuff, now y'all gotta pick all that stuff up. You know what I'm saying? Now that's extra work on both of y'all. And now y'all gotta pick all that stuff up. You gotta say I'm sorry to one another. Then don't let it hit on somebody. You know, that's another whole thing.
Mhm.
But the whole thing is, all that is accomplishing nothing.
Yes.
You still, after you done throw stuff, after you done yelled, after you done did all that, it's still nothing was resolved.
Mhm.
So why can't we just sit down and talk
Mhm.
and resolve it as husband and wife, as two human beings talking together? Look, as men and women of God, let's sit down and let's talk.
Mhm.
And we ought to write down what's aggravating us. You write down the things that's aggravating you, I'm gonna write down, and you look at mine, I'm gonna look at yours, and let's resolve this.
Yes.
Look, I'm not gonna yell at you no more.
Mhm.
And we have a conversation. Even we gotta say, you know what? Let's call a 1 hour meeting where let's call a meeting where we sit down and the emergency, we can call it an emergency meeting or whatever. Look, I can see this building up to something. Let's call an emergency meeting where we sit down and talk.
Yes. And really talk.
And really talk. Not that food, not that blaming nobody. You know, no, I'm gonna let okay, you want to go first or you want me to go? And whoever go first, you tell them what you want. Don't beat around the bush, just say it.
And you have to be in a relationship that you can express your pain.
Yes.
You can express your concerns and your needs without fear. I mean, it should be a safe space that you can go in with your spouse, the one you're in a relationship, and feel like you won't be attacked.
Yeah.
We have to be able to create that space, so we'll have that communication that we know that we're not going to hurt each other. We know that we're careful as to what we say because we do love and care for each other. And because we love each other, we have a safe space, because a lot of couples, they love each other but don't have a safe space, not even emotionally. How can we emotionally deal with what you're going through if I can't create a space for you where you can even come and talk to me?
Right.
It has to be where the other person feel like, you know what, I ain't gonna be mocked, I ain't gonna be laughed at, I can feel secure, I can express myself without getting yelled at, without getting cussed at, without sarcasm or listened to, or threats, or being rejected. It has to be a safe space that you make me feel comfortable enough that I can open up, I can be transparent. I know that when I share this with you, you're not going to throw it back in my face. This is rebuilding and the coming together, saying, look, there's emotional safety here. You can come to me. It's a sad thing when we can't come to the one that we're in relationship with,
And
that we're married to.
And that's the one.
Sad.
That's the one more than ever.
Mm-hmm.
You should be. That's the one more than ever. You should be trust have trust enough to go to and talk to.
Yes.
It shouldn't be nobody on the street. It shouldn't be no neighbor, no bestie, no family members. It should be the one you're living in the house with. The one that's your husband, that's your wife, the one you sleeping in bed with, the one that you said that you said I do to.
Yes.
That's who you should be trusting. That's who you should be able to talk to. You shouldn't have to walk around, well, if I say that, they're gonna shut down and I'll say nothing. No, you gotta be able to talk to one another. And me and my wife say this all the time. You can't be afraid in a relationship to express how you feel if something is wrong. Everything is not going to be peaches and cream all the time. So there's going to be times something ain't going to be right. And you ain't going to feel right. You're going to say, honey, listen, I don't feel happy about this. We need to sit down. Let's talk. Can I talk to you for a moment? Can I tell you this? And my biggest thing is, you know, a lot of times it ain't always gonna be, you know, it's not gonna be always good all the time. So you got to take the good and the bad with a grain of salt, and then you got to learn from it and say, okay, you know what? Hey, I got to be better.
Yes.
I got to be better. I got to be more sensitive to your feelings. I got to be more sensitive in how I talk to you and what I'm saying to you. And I know that's not good when I blurt at you and I yell at you like that, or I come in the house mad at somebody else and I take it out on you. You know, I'm verbally attacking you because I'm mad at somebody else, or I'm verbally attacking you because you're home and I'm mad and I had a rough day. Because some people do those things. They come home and attack the one they love by yelling and screaming because they had a bad day because their boss got on it. Or they had a bad day because a coworker, you know, told on them, and then they almost got in trouble, and then they come home and this and that, and they're already in a bad mood. So we got to know that when we come home and walk in that door, that should be our safe place. You know, that should be the place that when I get home, I can breathe now. Or you could walk in the door and your wife or your husband, oh yeah, well, look at why you came in the house like that. What's wrong with you? Why you acting like that? You know, instead of saying, how was your day? Honey, you all right? You know, did you have a good day? Is everything okay? Because you don't look like everything is all right. Sometimes it's just by saying that you don't know, that might make them break down and say, you know, I had a rough day today. So we gotta be, what's the word I'm looking for? We gotta be more caring for one another's, because we don't know what the person went through. We might talk on the phone and stuff like that sometimes, but we don't know what they're going through throughout the day, because we ain't talking to them all day long. We don't know what they're going through on the job. We don't know what they had to go through on the way home. We don't know what they had to go through when they got out the car. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what they had to go through that morning to get to work, and then they had to drive all the way back home. So, you know, you got to be lenient and have grace and mercy enough to say, you know what? When they walk in that door, I want them to feel this is home. This is your safe place. This is that place you could walk in the door and know that, man, then, you know, this is a place, oh, here we go again. You know, you ain't got to go walk in your house saying, oh, here we go again. Oh, here she go. Or here he go. You know, with his antics or his, you know, his smart talk or her smart talk or what this and that, you know. You got your safe place. You can come home, you know, and you could say, honey, you look, I had a rough day. Yeah, if I told you, and let me tell you what I went through. And I ain't coming home to take it out on you, but I thank you for asking me how my day was. Because you just don't know. Just asking that could make that person feel good, to know that you care about what their day and what they went through. Because some people don't even ask that. Husbands or wives, they don't even ask her, how was your day? You know? That's showing that you're thoughtful, that you care about them.
Let's talk about controlling anger.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about controlling anger, because we know that anger has a root and it takes form. And anger is not always sin. What we do with anger becomes sinful. So we know the scripture, be angry, sin not, don't let the sun go down on your wrath. So that means that anger can be managed if it's done quickly and wisely. So we do have control.
Yes.
We have to be able to exercise self-control, because anger becomes dangerous when it turns into yelling, insults, threats, manipulation, revenge, or emotional withdrawal. So, and abuse. And often it's deep. It's not just surface anger, it's deep. And symptoms of anger, it could be that you're hurt. That's why you're so angry. You've been rejected. You're frustrated. There's fear or disappointment. You feel like you're not being heard. There's some trauma that has not been dealt with. And there's expectations that have not been made. And a lot of people express anger because they don't know how to express pain. They don't know how to say what's hurting them, so it's easier to lash out in anger than to deal with the pain that they're going through. So we got to know that when we're talking about anger, a lot of times they feel like that a line has been crossed and they get mad, or you say something that now they're offended, or they feel like they've been wounded, or something has been triggered, so it runs deep. So what we do is, when it's about anger, and when we begin to recognize that whoever we're in a relationship is operating out of anger, we try to find out, where is it coming from? Because a lot of times instead of trying to find out, we now match, because they're angry. Now we get angry, and now we're matching, that they already set that atmosphere of anger. And then instead of us coming in to de-escalate, or to try to calm it down, we get angry too.
We add on.
Yeah, we want to lash out too. Oh, no, you ain't gonna yell louder than me. I can show you how to yell. And instead of us going in wisely to calm, okay, wait, you bring it up a notch. What happened? Why you so angry? What did I do? Like, why you being so, aggressive? What's the problem? But instead we go in and try to match them, and that's not going to help the situation, because now we're mad because they're yelling at us. Now we get mad too, and now we yell. No, wait, we're kind of raising our voices. Let us bring it down a little bit. Let's see what's going on. What's the problem? What happened? Why are you so angry? And see that it takes one of us. We're not going in to make it worse. We're going in to see, okay, something is deeper. And sometimes it takes them coming at us that way. Wait, okay, babe, what happened? What did I do? Like, what? And then that takes the edge off of it, because we're like, yeah, wait a minute. I shouldn't have said it that way. I was a bit loud. I didn't realize I was talking that loud. It helps bring everything into perspective. So we have to know how to handle it. We have to know that it's something deeper. And because, they're loud doesn't mean that we have to match, and we don't have to go back and forth. God bless you, Evangelist Kim. Yes, I see you. It's better to wait a little while after your spouse step in the door. Give them a minute to settle down before asking them, yeah, that's fine, because they could come in already like, oh, I had a rough day, and just give me a minute. I just need to calm down. I need to de-escalate, and that's fine. But look, that's you being able to read the room. That's you being able to read their expression. That's you knowing them so well that, hey, let me back up. They done had a rough day. Let me let them calm down. So as a wife, as a husband, you have to be able to know when they're not having a good day, or the expression on their face say, wait a minute, something is not right. Wait a minute, let me see what's going on, but let me give them space. And if they say, wait, just give me a minute, give them a minute. You ain't got to be all on the attack. Oh no, we got to talk now. No, learn the person. Thank you, Evangelist Kim. Learn the person that you're in relationship with. Learn. They may not deal with things how you deal with things. They don't handle it. They don't process it like you process it. Learn them. Yes, that was a good point.
And know that when you see that person, and if y'all been together for a while, you don't know those looks. You don't know what they're going through. You can see it all over their face because it's going to be on their face.
Yes, absolutely.
Believe that it's going to be on their face. And I always tell my wife, I know her apostle look. when she don't like something, I know her apostle look. So and she knows my overseer look. When something get on my nerves, she knows it. And she said, well, honey, what happened? And she know it ain't her. It just things, and people do things that don't do what they supposed to do. And, give a small, I had a little situation yesterday and I came home and I said, what happened? And that's because she can read, my wife reads me. She know when something wrong. So, and I know when something wrong with her because I can read her really good. And she can read me really good. Yeah. And that's good to know and then when I begin to tell her what happened and many times I done did it with her, she'll tell me what happened and I say, hey, and we talk about it. Yes. But I don't add on to what she's already upset about and she don't add on to what I'm already upset about. So, that's good that you can come home and have somebody you can talk to about it. Yes. They help de-escalate you and calm you down so you can be in the place where you need to be. Yes. And we got to know the words that we choose. Yeah, how you say it. Yes, the words, healing verbal wounds. So when we talk about words can leave bruises that the eyes cannot see. We know Proverbs say that death and life are in the power of the tongue. Verbal abuse damages intimacy because it leaves a mark. It leaves a mark. And because you said something that hurt me, now it causes my heart to hide. And, a spouse may still be physically there, but emotionally checked out because they no longer feel safe. So when we talk about verbal wounds, words that we've said that have hurt or offended or have traumatized, because it can, when we talk about verbal wounds, we have to know that it requires confession, repentance. We need to go to that person. I know I hurt you. What I said wounded you. I know what I said brought up memories that, of past trauma. We've got to take ownership of the words that we speak and be specific with our apology. It ain't no, if I hurt you, you hurt me with what you said. So we have to know that when we have verbally wounded someone, that we have to change our language in how we speak to them. And then we have to be patient with the healing process because, a lot of times when we are angry, God bless you, Prophetess Nelson. When we are angry, we say words that we know will hurt. Come on, we're mad. So we want to hurt them. Then let's be true. Tell the truth, shame the devil. We want them. I feel you. What you said hurt me, but guess what? I got something that's going to hurt you. And that's what we do. We retaliate. Instead of saying, wait, stop. We got to know how to handle, know what to say, know when not to say it. Like instead of saying, oh, you too sensitive. I didn't mean that. No, it ain't no, I'm too sensitive. You say, I didn't mean to hurt you because what you said hurt me. That's maturity. When we're able to admit, you know what, I said that and I was wrong. I should not have said that. I knew that would make you angry. I knew that would hurt your feelings. We've got to be woman enough, man enough to go back after we,
done the damage.
Yeah.
Come on. Not if I hurt. No, you hurt me. How you said it, that hurts.
Yeah. And then, a lot, that's where a lot of people mess up because you got
Mhm.
some people don't want to come back and say, I messed up.
Yes.
Don't, and they do that in relationships,
Mhm.
they do that in friendships,
Mhm.
they do that in everything. And they wonder why the person veer off from you. Wonder why the
Yes.
person don't want to deal with you
Mhm.
because you don't like you messed up, but you don't want to apologize.
Right.
You don't want to get it right.
Mhm.
You don't want to just say, "Hey, I'm sorry. It was my fault." Own up to if you messed up. Just own up to it.
Yes,
That's all.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Just own up to it and say, "Hey, I messed up.
Mhm.
My bad.
Mhm.
I did that."
Yes.
And I'm sorry I did that to you because I shouldn't have did it like that.
Mhm.
And I ain't do it because I was angry. I did it because I wanted to hurt you.
Yes.
You
And take
know?
responsibility.
And take
Like
responsibility
you said.
for it.
That's
Yeah.
it. You got to
Just say
take
it.
Yes.
I take responsibility for
Mhm.
it because I wanted to hurt you, and all you just wanted was me to hear you out. That's it.
Mhm. So we stop pointing the finger at each other and start looking at ourselves. Like, what did I do to contribute to this argument, this
Mhm.
conflict, this madness? What tone did I take in the conversation? Like, when did I didn't listen and I was the one that was defense offended and now jumping on the defense? When did I just speak out, trying to hurt the one that I know that I love?
Mhm.
Come on, we have to begin to ask ourselves the question and take responsibility for our actions.
Yeah, and we gotta look at ourselves
Mhm.
sometime, and we gotta say, you know what, I have to do things differently.
Mhm.
I can't just look at and say it's all about me.
Yes.
It's about our relationship. It's
Mhm.
about our marriage.
Mhm.
And if I care for our marriage, I'm going to respect my spouse's feelings.
Yes.
And I know that if I know things going to hurt them, I'm not going to say something that's going to hurt them.
Mhm.
Because why? Because it's hurting me too.
Yes.
It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt your relationship. It's
Mhm.
gonna hurt your marriage. It's gonna hurt you and them, and how you feel about one another. And that's where mistrust comes in.
Yes.
And now they don't trust you enough to believe what you say because you said something that really hurt them.
Yes. Yes. And then a relationship cannot heal when both are waiting for the other person to apologize.
Right.
Or waiting for the other person to change.
Or waiting for the other person that caused the problem,
Mhm.
and waiting on, well, I'm waiting to see if they're gonna apologize or they're gonna get it right or they're gonna come back and and then suppose that person never do.
Yes.
Suppose they just going on like, oh well, they'll forgive me. I can make it up to them. Or I'll go buy them something and then that'll fix that. No. Buying them stuff don't fix everything.
Mhm.
So you gotta really, the best thing to do is just come out and say, I messed up.
Yes. And that's when healing can start.
Yeah.
That's because we're not fighting to see who win. We ain't competitors. We're partners. We're walking together in unity. So we're not here to fight. We're not here to fuss. We want to walk and have a relationship that is peaceful,
Mhm.
that is happy, that has understanding with no damage. No, we want to be together in harmony. So we got to make sure that, yeah, we know disagreements are going to happen. Yes, we know that conflict happens in every situation, in every relationship, but we're not playing to win. I mean, we're not fighting to say, oh, I won this fight. Oh, I won this argument. Oh, I won. No, we have to come together and strategize on, you know what? So we don't continue to repeat this cycle. What do we need to do different?
And how are we going to handle this differently?
Yes.
Because it's not, if you think that's a win because you won an argument,
Mm-mm.
it's not a win.
No.
And because you said something worse to the other person,
Mhm.
that's not a win.
Yes.
Because now that person is going to be looking at you differently.
Mhm.
That person going to be looking at you in a way saying, I thought we were better than this.
Yes.
I thought we could really sit down and talk. Now they don't trust you enough to talk to you. So I want this to be better. How's that going to be better? I want to look. If you apologize, if you get it right, then you know that person can say, you know what, I know that if I tell them how I feel, they'll say, you know what, I'm sorry, I did you wrong. I shouldn't have did that. And that person going to say, you know what, I know I can trust them because at least they'll tell the truth and say, hey, they messed up or they did something that I didn't like, and then they'll apologize for it. But it goes on both ends.
So we have a question. How long do you wait to apologize? And what if your partner does not receive it, your apology? How long do you wait to apologize?
How long do
You wait.
to apologize?
And what if your partner does not receive your apology?
I'm gonna say this. It all depends on how long did you wait, you know? It's best not to wait long. It's best to try to get it resolved right away. Don't wait a days, because a lot of times people aren't going to receive it if you don't wait it. 2 days,
2 weeks,
2 weeks. They're not going to receive that because they're going to feel like, well, what took you so long?
You want the conflict to end immediately. Like you don't want it to linger.
Yeah.
So
you don't want it to
it
sit
should
around.
be a way, especially if we know that we're the ones that offended the person or we the ones started the argument. It's our fault. Like I shouldn't wait to apologize because I want to be able to lay down. Like you say, don't go to bed angry. I want to be able to lay down and be able to get a good night's sleep. So I don't want to wait. I want to say, because the longer we wait, it's just more tension.
Yeah. Even if it's, I think even if it's an hour or even if it's 30 minutes, look, I was wrong. I shouldn't have came at you like that. I don't want to wait. I want to get this out of the open. I want to apologize to you now because I don't want, I don't want to sit on it.
Yes, and even if they don't receive it, at least you apologize,
and they know you did.
And if they don't receive it, did I apologize in the right tone? Was I sarcastic when I said it? Well, okay, I apologize. It's my fault. No, was I sincere when I said it?
Yeah.
It could be that how we said it, they perceived it like, oh, she just being sarcastic. Yeah. Oh, he ain't really mean it.
And then you know what? It's good to ask them. Do you receive my apology? I want to know sincerely. Do you think I apologize to you? And do you receive it? Because I want you to feel comfortable receiving what I'm saying to you. And I felt bad about it. So I wanted to make sure that you were okay.
Yes. And who's not going to accept that? If you're pressing it, you ain't just say, oh, I'm sorry, and walk away. And, because of your demeanor, they're like, oh, did she really mean it? If you're saying, wait, did you receive my apology? Did you accept it? I want to make sure that I get this right with you. I want to make sure that, we okay, we good. If you're pressing the issue, they're going to bend at some point.
They're going to say, well, at least they really sincerely about it.
Absolutely.
They wanted to make sure. And then the best thing, are you okay?
Yes.
Are you okay with it? Did I say it right? Did you feel comfortable with it?
Yes.
Because I want to make sure you're okay. And I don't want you feeling any wrong way. I just want to make sure you're okay because I messed up.
And you might say, I'm not doing all that, but it may take all of that.
It may take all
especially if I'm always the troublemaker. Come on, we ain't gonna always admit that we the one that started the argument. We the one that had the attitude. We're the one that be saying stuff fly. We ain't gonna say all that. And I'm the one that's always initiating it. Come on, I can, get some humble pie.
And a lot of times we're always the one. I'm the good one. No, you ain't always the good one.
It ain't never my fault. They always start with me. They always.
No. So it's all right to admit when you know in your heart you were wrong.
Yeah.
So just admit it and just get it right.
And why let it linger?
Why let it linger and wait? Because all that's going to do, that person might not receive it because you know why you waited so long.
Yeah. Oh, they ain't really mean it. Why it took them 2 days to say I'm sorry? Like,
Or why it took them a day? Why it took them a couple of hours to come and say I'm sorry?
And they know they
shoulda
was wrong.
And they know they was wrong. They should have came and said something right away and try to get this right.
And it's just like if the shoe was on the other foot, would we want them to wait to apologize? No. You upset me, you offended me, say you sorry.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know you sorry. You ain't mean it. You ain't gonna say it again. You ain't gonna bring it up the next time. We done. This is squash, is over with.
And now if you're waiting and that person, and you going to that person and you got a sincere heart, you got to go to them with a sincere heart. Don't just be, well, I'm sorry. That person, I wouldn't receive that.
Oh, you always just want an apology. Here you go. Sorry.
I'll be like, you ain't mean that. You did not mean it at all.
You so extra. You so extreme. Okay, I'm sorry.
All right. Why you got to throw all that in? Why you got to say all that? Why you got to put all that in? Oh, why you got to act like that? I'm sorry. Rolling your eye. What that got? So you really didn't mean it. You really didn't mean it. If you're doing all your little facial expressions, you didn't mean that. Come on now. So when you go, you better truly know that you meant what you're saying.
Yes, absolutely.
And that person, remember now, you've been married to them. You married to them. They know whether you mean it or not. No. And if you go into them with a sarcastic attitude, they know you ain't mean that.
Look, we're talking about healing communication. So it's not just one conversation. It's a new lifestyle. That means we have to change our old patterns of how we operate, or how we respond, or even how we converse with one another, and start practicing new patterns until they feel they are the new normal. This is how we deal with each other. This is how we operate. So a new pattern is, okay, you know what? Let us pray before difficult conversations.
Right.
We know that, we're both angry, we're both upset. Let's pray before we even talk about it.
That's it.
Use calm tones. Don't come aggressive, come calm. And like you said earlier, take a break, take a pause. Maybe 20 minutes, you know what? Come meet me in the living room in 20 minutes.
Let's have an emergency talk.
Yeah, or we're seeing that it's getting escalated. Okay, time out. Let's break for 20 minutes and come back and discuss it. And like we just talked about, new patterns is apologizing quickly. Don't wait. Stop name calling completely and address. Don't throw nothing. Please don't. Address issues without attacking each other's character. Come on, we know name calling does that. And, we know that we're not perfect. Relationship, we're coming together, we're learning each other. And if we've been married for years, we already know each other. And we still, at some point, may not operate in perfection. But the goal is progress. The goal is humility. The goal is taking it one day at a time and being consistent in order to make sure that the change is actually occurring. Yes, healing. Yes, because we want to heal. We don't want to be in the same pattern. We don't want to be in the same condition. We don't want to respond the same. We want to do it different because we're trying to progress. So we know that anger breaks connection, but when we're humble and with humility, we can rebuild the connection that has been severed.
And that's one thing, that humility part
Mm-hmm.
and rebuilding part. You're gonna have to rebuild in humility.
Yes.
That trust with one another. Look, we're cutting out. We having these yelling sessions where we yelling and disrespecting one another.
Mm-hmm.
We're cutting that out. We're putting God first in it. We're gonna talk to one another. We're gonna pray on it before we even get started with the conversation, because we want to make sure that God break those situations down where we don't have yelling. that yelling is not an option. We're not cussing at each other. We're not talking down to each other. We're not verbally attacking each other. We're not doing those things. So these are things that, and you set, when you have this conversation, look, we're going to set rules and boundaries to ourselves that we won't be doing those things no more. Look, I'm not going to be yelling at you no more. I'm not going to be disrespecting you no more. And we're not going to be yelling and throwing things and physically attacking each other. Yeah. These are things that you got to stop doing because somebody can get hurt for real. And it can get real, it can get real hostile. Oh, yes. When somebody really gets hurt. So look, if we're going to do this, we got to do this the right way. Yes. And then some of that when it gets to that point where it's physical or not, now y'all, you need more than that. You're going to need some counseling. You're going to need some help to help push you through those things and healing communication through it all. Look, I don't like the way you know, how you looking at me. Like, you know, I don't like how how you express your anger towards me. And look, I don't want us to be doing that at each other anymore. I don't want us talking to each other anywhere, even in front of the kids. I don't even want us yelling and screaming at each other in front of our children. And you disrespecting me and I'm disrespecting you. Yeah. And we shouldn't be doing that anyway.
Healing communication begins when both people decide, I will not use my pain as permission to hurt you. We're coming together. And this is healing communication, which means that how we handled it in the past, we're not taking it into our future. Not another day.
We're not doing that.
Come on, we've argued for years. We've fussed for years. We've been in conflict for years. Not another day. This is healing communication. What do we need to do differently in order to have healthy communication? Principle number 1, and we got 5 we're going to give you real quick. Listen to understand, not to defend. Listen to understand. Understand what they're really saying, not to jump on the defense. Understand what they're really saying. Number 2, tone matters. How we talk to one another. How our tone matters. Yes.
Tone it down.
Yes.
Don't let your voice get loud. The neighbors shouldn't be able to hear you. Your kids shouldn't be able to hear you, even if they're in the other room. Y'all should be able to sit down and talk.
Yes. Principle number 3. And discuss. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. No. Principle number 3, stop weaponizing past mistakes. Stop throwing up. Come on, throwing up every opportunity we get. We want to remind them.
Remember what you did to me 10 years ago?
Yes. What? Yes.
But and people still hold that fresh.
Yes.
Like it's still new.
And haven't gotten past it. Why? Because it's hurt. I still hurt.
Because they never addressed it.
Yes, absolutely.
They never addressed it. They never talked about it, so they let it go. And now 10 years later. 10 years later.
We're back.
I thought we was over that. No, she wasn't over it. He wasn't over it.
That's right.
That's why it's coming up now, 10 years later.
Principle number 4, learn the power of pausing. Remember, we talked about the pause. It's okay to pause. Yeah, come back. We're going to come back to the table. Let me go take a walk. Let me just do something for a minute, and we're going to come back. And number 5, communication must be made safe. Remember, we talked about that safe space. I should be able to share with you, confide in you, my deeper things that happen to me, my deeper secrets. I mean, all a safe space. This is healing communication because we want to improve the way that we communicate and that we talk, and not only talk, but respond to one another.
And during that time when we responded to one another, say loving things to one another. Hey, you know, I love you. You know, I care for you. You know, I never tried. I know I disrespected you and I was wrong for that. You know, and a person that your husband, your wife will love that, hearing that from you, that you saying, I love you.
Yes.
I respect you.
Mhm.
And I never meant to come at you like that, because I was wrong for that. That's a big step.
Yes, absolutely.
Especially if, being a man or a woman, that's a big step for that person to do that. And you gotta, that person gonna look at you and say, you know what? They really love me, because they was able to come in and tell me the truth that they were wrong.
Yeah.
And they express how much they love me, and they never meant to really hurt me.
Mhm.
And they didn't come at me sideways. They
Right.
didn't roll their eyes while they were saying it. They didn't be sarcastic. They was genuine, for real.
Yeah.
They was telling the truth.
So healing communication can break the cycle of anger.
Yes.
It's how we approach it, how we talk, how we deal with each other, how we even listen. And sometimes, yes. And sometimes that means me repeating it back to make sure that I understand what was actually being said.
One other thing I want to say is, even let's say you did forget about something 10 years ago. You know what? We're going to address that too. Let's address that.
Yes.
That was our mistake back then, but we're going to address it now so we can forget about it and move forward. Now, let me ask you, how are we going to get past that? That it was our fault together, that we just forgot about it and we didn't talk about it 10 years ago. But it's still you brought it up. It must have still hurt you.
Yes.
So look, let's get it out in the open now. How can we heal from that?
Yes.
So we don't have to bring it up no more.
All right. Good conversation, good talk. And we see you still working with one, listen to understand. And it's not easy. It's not easy listening to understand, because we sometimes just get in the defensive mode. But we've got to realize that if we're in that safe space, that the one that we're married to, in a relationship with, they're not trying to hurt us. Why should they try to hurt us? So we immediately take the defense, like we got to explain ourselves. We got to say our part. We got to
be emotional.
Yes.
You don't have to be emotional.
But
You know,
listen,
tone
yes,
it down.
listen to
Slow
understand.
down. Breathe.
Yes.
Breathe. And I know what they did hurt you, but you gotta breathe.
Yes.
And look, I gotta breathe so I can get my point across and they can hear me. I don't have to yell it out. I just gotta talk it out.
Evangelist Kim, you said about the platform, how it's been such a blessing to you. Look, you're a blessing to us. You've supported us from day one.
Yeah.
And we thank God for you and you all that are here tonight, that allowing us to impart wisdom. And we've been married for 16 years this year. Will be 16 years. And it doesn't mean that we've always agreed. It doesn't mean that we've never experienced conflict, that we've never been through anything. It's just that we've learned how to be happy in the space that we are in.
And know how to talk
Yes.
to one another. And like I tell people all the time, me and my wife counseling, we tell them, we don't argue. We have discussions. And if it's something that we don't agree on, we're going to have a discussion about it. We're going to talk about it.
And we still may not agree at the end.
Still may not agree.
But we agree to disagree, and it's okay.
And then more the things we don't agree about, hey, we know we can't agree about that, but we find another means to make it work. So
common ground.
Common ground.
Yes.
That's it.
All right. Look, we enjoyed y'all tonight. Sister Kathy, God bless you. We see you. Thank you so much for joining us on tonight. Look, we are Unified Love Couples Ministry, the place where
two hearts
meet. If you have not yet purchased our books, they are available on Amazon.com. The Love Cure for Relationship and Marriage, and we got a communication workbook. You only need to buy one, because the purpose of the book is for you to share with your significant other, the activities, the prayers, everything that is in the book. You're doing an assessment at the beginning to see where you are in your relationship. and you use that one book, 21-day communication builder, to work on your communication skills. If you want to check us out, look, we're here every first and third Thursday of the month at 8 p.m. So check us out. Yes, we thank you for your love and support, your questions that are in the chat. We thank you so much. So please make sure that you follow us on social media. Unified Love Couples Ministry. If you need personal counseling, you can contact us. And yes, we are also certified life coaches for relationships. So we could help you in the area that you are in. And look, we have Overseer Reese that is doing a boot camp because we know we've got to stay healthy and fit while we're in relationship. And those that are single, come on, you know, we've got to be ready for the boo. Yes. So if you want to work out, look, he lost over 250 pounds from chair workouts. Look, if you want in the Miami area, the Broward County area, and you want to join West Palm Beach, join in the chair workout. Is going to be May 30th at 11 a.m. and it is free. So yes, if you need help and you want to exercise and come forward, please join us on May 30th at 11 a.m. Next Level Faith Center, 2275 Northwest 62nd Street. And you can also pick up his book on Amazon.com.
Or my website.
Or his website, oldenreese.com.
And I want to thank Zell. She gave me an awesome review.
Yes, Zelma is on here. She's live.
Yes, thank you so much. I really, you don't know how much that meant to me to get that review from you. So many people are loving the review. They love what you said, and I think it might go viral.
And if you need inspiration during the week, I am here every first and third Wednesday for inspirational moments. Look, we love you. We thank you for your support, your comments, your questions. This is Real Talk with the Reeses, so we keep it transparent. We are real. Ain't no fakeness. It ain't no the camera come on and this is a different life. No, this is our life. So thank you for allowing us to share it with you.
And I want to say this, on Mondays, if you guys, I know a lot of people work during those times, but on Mondays, I have my inspirational Monday. I have my inspirational Monday. Zell, she's on there. I have different ones that come on there, and it's motivational speaking. And I talk about a lot of different things, a lot about weight, about weight loss, about just living, and about just uplifting people to do the things that they need to do for themselves. I've been doing it for so long, and I tell you, it's just, I don't call myself an inspirational speaker. I call myself an inspirational God speaker, because, you know, it's to inspire people to do the things that God has called them to do. So if you can, stay tuned on Mondays, come on there, come on my live, and hear what, you know, what God has given me to say to the people. And like my wife, we are doing these things because God has gave us the go ahead and the spiritual knowledge and the things that we are doing, even with Unified Love. So I thank God for all that He has been doing with us and through us.
Thank you. And Charity said, yes, we be working out hard.
Yes.
At the chair workout.
Yes.
So thank you so much for tuning in. Look, we have so many teachings on YouTube. Unified Love Couples Ministry is our channel. Go there, like and subscribe. And there are so many teachings there. We've been doing this for probably over 5 years with the live broadcast. So please check us out. And until we see you again on the first and third Thursday of the month, God bless you. And use communication that will promote healing so anger has no chance of surfacing.